Bro, you don't own any Bitcoin.
Bitcoin? Oh, nah, mate. Is that internet money stuff you put in and it makes money or something?
What's up, friends, and welcome back to the channel here at Earl's Yard. For those that are new here, my name is Earl, and for those that are returning, I thank you so much for your continued loyalty and support. It all means a lot. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, share the video with friends, leave any comments in the description below, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. I'm not sure if any of you have noticed yet, but I'm actually trying out a new hairstyle today. I got the cap on, growing the hair long, and I'm just trying the slight bit of hair just in front of the ear there rather than both sides of the hair back behind the ears, yeah? So just leave some comments, let me know how that looks. Within this short mini series, bro, you don't own any Bitcoin, we are going to be discussing realistic, simple ways in which why, if you don't own any Bitcoin, you really need to start owning some Bitcoin. And if you do own some Bitcoin, then you need to do everything you possibly can within reason to own some more Bitcoin. Before I do carry on with the video, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to be very clear in saying all of the videos that I post, including this one, are for entertainment purposes only. This is in no way financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some dude on the internet sharing my personal experience with you. So make sure you do your own research and you do your own due diligence and make your own decisions on your behalf. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Normally when I'm talking to someone new about Bitcoin, or I do get a question about Bitcoin, they normally understand that, well, it is Bitcoin and it's some kind of digital currency, but it kind of stops there. And that for me is a little bit saddening because there are just so many unique and individual benefits towards or about Bitcoin, but people just don't know about them. So my job through this mini series is to inform you in layman's terms, make it understandable and simple in short snippets, episode by episode. The fact that you can invest in Bitcoin and make a hell of a lot of money is only just one reason why you need to be considering getting some Bitcoin today. However, there are several deep-rooted reasons why you need to be owning Bitcoin today. And in this first episode, we're going to be talking about how Bitcoin is borderless. Now, I hear you ask, but what do you mean, Earl, borderless? What exactly does borderless even mean? Well, what I mean by borderless is Bitcoin doesn't have borders. So you can send any value of Bitcoin internationally in a fast amount of time without a third party getting involved and for an absolutely tiny fee worth cents in most economies. Going back roughly, let's say about 4 months, because I'm here in London in the UK, I took an Uber drive back from a party that I was at one night, and a lovely Sudanese gentleman and I got into a nice little bit of conversation. He was a lovely man and he was from, I believe, South Sudan. Now this South Sudanese man had a family back in South Sudan. He had a wife and 3 kids, I believe, from memory. And the purpose of him basically working in the UK as an Uber taxi driver was that he was able to make a lot more money to support his family back home. Now, I asked this man, what's life like in South Sudan? Were you not able to pick up a job or a career that would earn you enough money to support your family? He basically told me that he wasn't, and that the money that he was working as a boilermaker, I believe, was not nearly enough to support the income and the needs of his family. And not just because of that, due to various levels of high inflation or hyperinflation, which is essentially heavily devaluing their Sudanese pound, it also meant that any money that him or his family were earning basically was losing its value very, very quickly. We'll be covering inflation in another video, but that's what you need to understand for now. You're probably wondering, okay Earl, but what the heck does this have to do with borderless payments for Bitcoin? Well, it's got a heck of a lot to do with it, and I'll tell you exactly why. This poor South Sudanese gentleman would make his weekly or his monthly income, and then he would have to send it back to his family. Guess how long it took for him to send the money back to his family? He told me that it sometimes took between 1 and 2 weeks for his family to receive that money. So he's having to wait huge amounts of time before his poor family back in South Sudan are simply just trying to make ends meet and put food on the table for their kids to have a regular life. Now, if you thought that was bad enough, think again. On top of that, he has told me that depending on the size of the transaction, he pays sometimes between 30 to 50 US dollars just to send his money back home to his family. For those of us lucky enough to be born into Western societies, typically the United States, Australia, the United Kingdom, we kind of become numb or a bit unfamiliar to the unfairness that is going on around the world. We're kind of aware of it, you know, it's kind of just there in the background, and, you know, certain charities take care of it, they look after it. Maybe you even chip in a few pounds here and there to help out. But it's kind of like, you know, what difference is that really making? You've got to ask the question. Let me ask you a question now, and if you do have the answer, please drop it in the comment section below. Why should this poor South Sudanese man have to send his money to get authorized through a third party who will then do the conversions and set it up and prepare it across the course of 1 to 2 weeks, take their massive $50 cut, and then get it sent all the way to his family, okay? I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. And then on top of that, wait, it gets even worse. Once his family receives the money in the converted Sudanese pound, it is then through time being reduced in purchasing power due to hyperinflation. The key thing to take away and understand is a third party is getting involved and taking a cut of this poor man's hard-earned money. And for what? Just for sitting behind a computer? Just so some big fat rich man perhaps at the top can take a big slice of the pie? That's just absolutely ridiculous and just makes no sense to me whatsoever. And on top of that, why should there be some kind of wait? He's essentially paying someone to make his family wait between 1 and 2 weeks for some money that's just going to get devalued when it arrives anyway. It's absolutely ludicrous, if you ask me. Food for thought? Bitcoin can be the solution for this man. It might actually surprise you to know that fortunately in a lot of African countries, many Africans are developing means to use blockchain technology, and specifically Bitcoin. Remember, all you need is a good internet, or even just a decent internet connection and a mobile phone, and you can have a Bitcoin wallet on your phone. What does that mean? You can send and receive Bitcoin internationally and make use of its borderless features. Let's draw out this simple scenario. This South Sudanese man will work for 1 month and perhaps he earns, let's say, 1,500 Great British pounds. Now, what he will do is he will trade that 1,500 Great British pounds, or he will buy with that 1,500 Great British pounds, 1,500 Great British pounds worth of BTC, the abbreviation for Bitcoin, or ticker symbol, whatever you like to call it. Now, once he does that, he stores his Bitcoin on an online wallet. There are many different versions which you can get your hands on. From there, he will then instruct and inform his family on how to obtain Bitcoin wallets on their phones, probably the wife, considering the kids, I believe, would be too young. The wife sitting at home looking after the family in South Sudan each month, when her husband, working hard in the UK, receives Bitcoin from his wallet. So it basically goes from the gentleman's wallet straight to his wife's wallet. You want to know roughly how long that's going to take? Wait for it. Anywhere between 0 to 15 minutes. Okay, 0 to 15 minutes to send money from UK to South Sudan to his poor family in South Sudan. You want to know how much that costs? It's going to be cents, okay? And you want to know something else? It's an inflationary currency. Bitcoin is resistant to inflation. Again, it's relevant, but I will cover inflation and hyperinflation in another video. Now that I've made myself quite clear, let's just quickly summarize by drawing the two parallels or comparisons, okay, if you like, between the traditional finance system and the finance 2.0 system, which I like to call it. You've got Bitcoin on one hand, okay? This gentleman sends Bitcoin to his family. How long does that take? Between 0 and 15 minutes. What happens if he sends his money to the third party in his traditional government currency to his home country's traditional government currency? 1 to 2 weeks. Which one are you going to choose when you need to get some money to your starving family back at home? 0 to 15 minutes for the money to get there, or 1 to 2 weeks? Which one are you going to choose? The second point to consider is the cost. How much has it costed this poor man? I said it earlier in the video. It sometimes costs him between 30 to 50 pounds just to send money back home to his poor family. You want to know how much it costs to send Bitcoin back? You've got to pay a block fee, and it is cents. Less than £1. Significantly less in that fact. Then coming back onto the final point, Bitcoin, because it is a finite resource, it is a finite supply, unlike most government or all government currencies, it is resistant to inflation. So the purchasing power will not decrease when it arrives in his country. As opposed to the Sudanese pound, it is going to decrease, and it is decreasing in value every living second. I know some of you are thinking, hang on Earl, that all sounds great, but you've missed out on one little really important point there. Bitcoin's volatility. Oh dear, Bitcoin is so volatile. It increases, decreases. We were at 20,000, then 3,000, now we're back at 9,000 or 10,000. It's a fair point, it's a fair point. I'll give you that. And to really explain this in depthly, I'm going to make another video about this, but essentially what you need to understand is Bitcoin runs on the blockchain technology, okay? It's a decentralized technology, it's a decentralized system. Again, there's another video in this series that's required to understand what is meant by decentralized system, okay? But what you do need to understand for now is there is something out there called stable coins that run on a blockchain, okay? So his family can hold the worth of US dollars in a cryptocurrency stable coin. There are many different kinds out there and they exist for several different currencies. The one that I tend to use most is Tether, USDT. I know a lot of people have got some bad things to say about Tether. Alternatively, there are other coins that you can use. There's one called USDC. But essentially, what you need to understand about these stable coins is that they match the price of the US dollar, talking specifically about US dollars here. So, if this South Sudanese gentleman makes 1,500 pounds, okay, per month in the UK, that might be roughly, let's just say off the top of my head, 1,200 to 1,300 US dollars. He could also send that value in US dollars to his wife and kids back home, all right? So they would be able to maintain a stable currency. But probably what he's going to do is he's going to send some of his money back to his family in Bitcoin and some of his money back to his family in a stable coin which runs on the blockchain. Again, I'll be talking about what stable coins are and how they work exactly in another video, but for now, that's what you need to understand. For those of you that have watched all the way to the end and joined me on this lovely walk today through Tooting here in the beautiful London, the great United Kingdom, through these interesting times, I really, really do appreciate the respect and the support that you've given me. If you've got any questions or you want to spark up some discussion, please lay it at me. Email me, WhatsApp me if you know me personal. Maybe you want to send me a message over Instagram. But what would really help me out the most if you left some comments in the comment section below, just because it would improve the chances of my video being seen by more people worldwide. I do want to really increase the reach of these videos. On top of that, if you could smash the like button and hit a big like on this video for me, that would be awesome. Make sure you ping that little notification bell so that you are notified when new videos are coming out as soon as they do come out. You could also subscribe to the channel if you are new here. That would really, really be an awesome thing for you to do. And please, most importantly of all, share the video around with your friends and family if you did find some value in this video. I know some of you out there are probably thinking, Earl, this sounds great. I'm already convinced. Tell me more. How can I get involved in this Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space, because it's such a great space to be involved in? Well, the simple answer to that question is in my description of this video. If you just take a moment after this video, you don't need to rush along to do your next little thing just yet. Take a little bit of time, check out the description, sign up to Coinbase with my link in the description below, sign up to crypto.com through the link in my description below. And also, if you want to pick up a Ledger hardware wallet, it is the most secure and safest way to store and hold your Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. There are links there which will give you discounts when you go in to buy Bitcoin or when you go in to buy the Ledger hardware wallet. And if you want to know a little bit more about the MCO card, there is another video on my channel talking about the benefits of that card and why you should really own that card if you want to make passive income and save money in 2020 and beyond. That's it for now, guys. Peace out till next time. Oh, what? Rolling dead fish? What, just to, because I like the scent?
She likes the smell, I suppose, but she was stinking.
Oh, the foxes.